Hello guys, figured I showcase my Magdk build for an OCP campaign. It got a lot of similarities to my Magblade build, but got different front bar weapon and different glyphs on jewelry, so that's pretty much it. Otherwise I got 64 points into Magicka. I'm a Dark Elf instead of High Elf. Got a really good stamina pool, huge one. Could go with different class, since most cases you don't need that much stamina, but I still like to have tri-seasonal gear to increase your health. And if you really got hard chased by a Zerg, it's still useful in that case. So, and if you kind of make a wrong decision on roll dodge, also it's more forgiving, I guess. So our Magicka pool is also decent. So, and spell critical is a little bit higher because of this bonus. So usually around 21%. So, and with continuous and elusive mist and everything with Berserker Glyph as well, our spell damage increased to over 6k. So, and our recovery is really low because we don't rely on it at all for sustain. And I will show you how. There's other Magicka builds or Magdk builds I've seen done something similar, but I just had this idea in my mind for a long time, just haven't put together a build video. So Gaze of Sith is still also on this build. It's fixed though, so your zero bolt mitigation does work. So when you block, you don't take less damage. So keep that in mind if it's not how you want to play it. It's reliant on well-fitted and you know, roll dodge. So one piece dummy house still, rattle cage, really handy set because it gives major sorcery at all times, and got good bonuses otherwise as well. The 2-piece maximum health also makes it as we get to 30k health, even though we have no points, attribute points put into it. So I like that as well. And the 5-piece free one slot on our bar. There are also a lot of skills you want to use on the Magdk, so that's pretty much it. And Heartland Conqueror, increase the effectiveness of your weapon traits by 100%. You have one Nernhorn for increased spell damage, and Charge, which got buffed this patch, and it increased Magdk sustain, so it's very good synergy there. Through the combustion passive, you apply burning, you get 1000 Magicka, and poison you get 1000 stamina. And you apply a lot of status effect for damage as well as sustain on this build. So, and since it increased the effectiveness by 100%, this equals having same as a two-hander back in beforehand buff to the trait. So that's why you go for a dual wield front bar. I like that a lot. And back bar still got defending with Berserker Glyph. You could go powered if you want, but I like this one. And you got a reinforced chest for being a little bit more beefy, and you got well fitted on 6 pieces with tri-stats. And you got 3 heavy still and 4 light armor. And also a big difference is we use reduced cost glyphs instead of spell damage glyphs and recovery, which make our abilities a lot cheaper. We are also Vampire Stage 3, by the way, which increase our cost on regular abilities, so it comes in really handy with reduced cost glyphs. And Bewitched Sugar Skulls, if I didn't mention it. And since we are stacking nothing into recovery, we use the spell damage Mendestone instead. Okay, to our skills. Flame Lash. I like this because how I set up my bar otherwise over Molting Whip gives a good burst heal now instead of healing over a short time, and it's also very easy to proc off balance, and it got no cooldown after the patch, so you can keep using Power Lash over and over. Deep Breath. I use this over Burning Embers because this is a single target and easy to dodge, and you got like a delayed burst with it, so and it heal you as well. So I like this really good a lot. And you see, if you do like this, your it's 9k tooltip on it, and it increases even more if you buff fully. So really good. And next, Chattering Rocks. It's a good heal as well as stun. Sometimes I don't know why actually. Sometimes the tooltip on the heal is over 10k, and sometimes it says lower. So I don't know why, but now it's on the lower end. Oh, there we go. Maybe someone can explain that to me. Yeah, Burning Talons. Really good skill because it gives a really good dot and also decent upfront damage. Immobilizing, so you can proc the Flame Lash, and this one can also proc the Flame Lash. Flames of Oblivion gives you Major Prophecy to increase your critical rating. Really handy since you don't use Magicka. And now it launches up to 3 fireballs every 5 seconds, so very often it's on top of my damage. In terms of hand damage, this is one skill that does the most damage for me. And you can time it as well when it ticks down to first. Initially it does damage if it's close enough to the target, and then 10 seconds, and then 5 seconds, and then to 0 seconds. So really good skill for very low cost as well. A lot of damage. Ferocious Leap, good ultimate, gives you a damage heal as well. Yeah, it's nothing more to say. It's a very common skill to use, or ultimate to use on DK class in general. I used the back bar ulti maybe a little bit more, but it's really good against squishy targets or targets with high mobility trying to escape. Kuag, it's our defensive burst heal. Really good. You don't spam it though, but yeah, it's nothing more to add to that. Engulfing Flames, also AoE, gives a decent. Why is my damage? I think it looks like my damage seems to be a little bit lower end for some reason. Anyway, it's tooltip, that is. Increase your damage, flame damage by 10%, so that will increase damage every flame ability you do. So you use. So it's really good just to buff your other skills, and yeah. Also, this together with all your other dots and flame damage will have a chance to proc the burning status effect, which is the part of your sustain. Rapid regen, really good heal over time, which you also need it sometimes. You could use burning embers here, or Cinder Storm, which is actually free for cost because of our setup, but I think it's a more skill better for like more stationary blocking type of playstyle, since it doesn't follow you around. You try to give a little bit of mobility on this setup, so I like to use rapid regen. Volatile armor, spike, gives dot over time, and also the attacker takes some damage every time it do a direct damage attack against you. I like this more because of Spike's Elusive Mist. Decrease your damage taken by 75%, and you get out of snares, roots, whatever, and you can keep the momentum up. It's also very low cost, 83 Magicka, so you can stay in this basically forever, and yeah, it fits my playstyle. If I'm getting chased, I use the roll dodge afterwards, getting back behind, get some cover, and I use it both defense and offensive. When I'm gonna attack someone, I go in and put pressure on. And lastly, corrosive armor. This is really good against very tanky targets, and you get maximum benefits of using Nirnhorn compared to, example, Sharpened when you have this active. And yeah. What else? Yeah, and if I got, for example, corrosive armor up, ready to use the corrosive armor, I like to go into rocks if I get chased by many. And I, of course I have volatile armor up, and I try to keep the engulfing flames up. I go into stones, and then I use engulfing flames, pop corrosive armor, deep breath, and burning talons, and then basically deep breath, and if you time it, flames of oblivion, burning talons, and deep breath hit on the same time. Then you follow up with flame lash to proc the power lash, and if they try to get away, you use shattering rocks. Also, I use mainly heroism pots. Very expensive, but it's well worth it. So I think that covered pretty much it.